Hello, I'm Caroline Wynn and I'm a coach at Shrinking Thinking, and today I'd like to chat to you a little bit about how we can move from overwhelm to action in just 3 small steps. So oftentimes when we're thinking and talking with our Shrinking Thinking clients, we found that they are often feeling very stuck and absolutely overwhelmed about their weight, and they're absolutely hating where they're at in life, how they're looking, how they're feeling. They're hating their relationship with food. Oftentimes they're afraid to look ahead, that they can only see things getting worse. They can't see it getting better at all. And they quite simply don't know what to do. They don't know how to get started. They know in many cases there's a million small things that they need to do, but they just can't get started. And that leads to this overwhelm. And they start experiencing that panic in their chest that's really, really tight, that it moves into their throat, that it restricts their breathing. Maybe they start to feel tears building up, and they have that complete overwhelm engulfing them. It's an absolutely horrible, horrible feeling, and we all know how it feels, so just stop with it, okay? Stop beating ourselves up. Maybe you too feel that you're stuck even on your weight journey. Maybe you're angry at yourself for not being able to do anything about it. You're a really capable woman, yet somehow you just can't get this sorted out. You just can't stop yourself from snacking. So stop with all the stories already and breathe. Let go of that panicked feeling, because we have 3 simple steps that will help to move you from that overwhelm into action. So that feels a little bit better, doesn't it? So what are you focusing on? What are you thinking about when you're thinking about your weight? Typically, you'll be thinking about what you don't like, what you don't want, and what you don't want to feel. You're actually focusing on everything you don't want to have in your life. Now, have you heard of the law of attraction? If you haven't, go Google it, go watch the film, get the book, The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, which is absolutely amazing. Now, what the law of attraction teaches us is that you get what you think about. What you focus on, you get it. If you focus on what you don't like, you're going to get more of it. Does that make sense? It's kind of like the phrase, what you think about, you bring about, okay? So what we need to help our Shrinking Thinking clients to do is firstly stop focusing on what they don't want. And how are we going to do that? Well, that's where our 3 simple steps from overwhelming into action will make a huge difference for you. So step number 1 is to focus on what we do want. But how are we going to do this? Oftentimes, particularly when we're in overwhelm, it's really difficult to think about what we do want, because it just feels unreachable and impossible to achieve. So we go back for a moment to think about what we don't want, and it's okay to think about it here. So I want you to think about those things that you don't want, and then write down all the things about your weight that you don't want or don't like. And then for each one of them, I want you to write down the opposite of that. So that's likely to be actually what you do want. So to give you an example, perhaps you're feeling that what you don't want is to feel so awful about yourselves. How many of us feel like that? So how can you flip that into the opposite? How can you rephrase the negative into the positive? Well, instead of thinking about feeling awful, how about thinking about feeling better about yourselves? Would that feel better? I'm sure it does. Maybe one of your things is you don't want to ache so much. You don't want to feel so much pain in your knees and in your back. But again, you're focusing on the pain here. So flip it to the opposite, about feeling less pain, and how about actually moving towards being pain-free? Or maybe you're stuck with that snacking thing and you really want to stop snacking. So instead of focusing on the snacking, which is what you don't want, flip to the opposite. You want to learn to be in control of what you eat. Okay, do you get how this works? It's really quite simple. So on to step 2. So you've now got your list of what you do once. So what is the next step? That's thinking about, how can I get some of this into my life? So for each of what we do once, I want you to make a list of all of the ideas of how you can get more of that into your life. So be creative, think outside the box, outside what you've done before. If you were to dare greatly, how could you get more of what you want into your life? Maybe you've seen someone else do it. Maybe their journey's been inspirational. Maybe you too could dare just a little to be a little more like them. So if your want is to start feeling better about yourself, some of the things you could do on that list is create some positive affirmations that make you feel good. Perhaps something like, I'm in the process of learning to be kinder to myself, or I'm learning to take control of what I eat. Another step could be reading a book that would help you to limit that negative self-talk that goes on inside our heads. And I can highly, highly recommend The Chimp Paradox by Dr. Steve Peters, which is a fabulous book. If you want to be more in control of what you eat, one of the steps you could do would be to contact an expert who can help you to stop snacking. And funnily enough, I do know some experts at Shrinking Thinking that can help you to do just that. So add that to your list. Now, for step 3, it's all about taking actions. It's all about getting started. Now, when we're in overwhelm, it's really, really tempting to make a list of absolutely everything that you have to do. I should know, I'm the queen of lists. Martin will tell you about this. Absolutely the queen of lists. But what I know is that creating some lists when we're in overwhelm actually overwhelms us even more. And it's even harder to get going because we get bogged down in the task and we never get started. So here's the secret. Pick just one of those items on the list and then go and take action on that one item. So what can you do today that helps take you a step closer on that one item? And do it today. Now, is it going to get done today or is it going to take you a week? If it's going to take you a week, stop, think about it, and break that task down because there will be several other tasks beneath that. So break it down until you can get a task that you can do today. And then take a step forward, take that action, and then take another and another. And pretty soon you're going to find yourself taking and building positive momentum, and you're going to start feeling better and more in control of yourself and your life. Every single day is a chance to start again. So what? Maybe you've got a bad day. Maybe you just haven't done anything today. Stop worrying about it. Instead of beating yourself up, flip the thought. What can you do today still that will help you move forward? Or maybe look for a little tiny thing that you have done today that has already made a difference. And maybe that little thing is actually something that you haven't done that you normally do, like snacking, for example. And then think about what you can do tomorrow that's going to get you started. Because tomorrow is a new day. It's a new chance to take those baby steps towards what you want. And there's always, always, always a tomorrow. So how cool is that? Every day we get a chance to take action and take those baby steps. So that's my 3 steps for moving from overwhelm into action. I'm Caroline Wynne at Shrinking Thinking, and thank you so much for watching.